world that's free of war, famine, hunger, poverty. I wanna live in a world that fights for every single person's human rights. I wanna live in a world that's pure, where the truth is what we're searching for. Live in a world where I believe. I wanna live inside the melody.
Just before we get into talking about the tracks, what I would love to do is just do a bit of a mention and a shout out for all the collaborators on the album and people who guest on the songs. It's awesome to have some returning people that I've worked with in the past, like Rachel Raw, and then working with some new people that I've met on SoundCloud, and also with close friends as well. So the album opens up with me doing a collaboration with K.E.Y, or the album closes with me doing a collaborative song with K.E.Y. I've got my good friend Adam J featuring on one of the tracks, so a big thank you to everybody that kind of played their part and make this album sound hopefully awesome. That's what I'm hoping that people think. So let's talk about the track. So track number 1, The Magic, as I mentioned, the album opens up with guest vocals with K.E.Y, and basically this song is very heavily 80s influenced, as I mentioned in the other video, and it's got that great sort of happy 80s sound to it, I guess. But actually, if you listen to the song, The Magic, is about a relationship that's breaking down, where the magic just isn't there, and the two people in the relationship are kind of saying to each other that you're just not looking at things in the same way as I am. A lot of this album, the big underlying message, especially through some of the love songs, is just you have to accept that sometimes love just isn't perfect. It's not the thing that we see in films or on social media. There's good days, there's bad days. That's what this song is about, primarily, and it's a great track to open the album with. I think it sort of summarizes a lot of the influences that I was talking about for the album. So this is track number 1, The Magic.
Up, down, left or right, it doesn't matter which direction you choose tonight, because you're not feeling the heart of me. If you wanna see the magic, you just gotta believe.
I no longer believe in magic. I know that it might sound pathetic, but I won't let loose. I'm gonna stay.
Up, down, left or right.
So track number 2, M.O.N.K.E.Y, Monkey. This song is such a departure from anything I usually do, and I thoroughly enjoyed making it, but it was a long time in the creation. I wrote the first verse probably 2 years ago, and didn't know where to go with it. Wasn't too sure whether it was right for me. I was playing around with some remix ideas, and I just came back to it and I thought, no, this song has to be finished, and I absolutely love the end result. And there's some secret guest vocals on this song as well from my beloved. And so, but the song, primarily, everybody's got the monkey on their back. In this album, I've chosen to take the approach to talk openly about the fact that I have, some mental health issues, or have in the past, and I don't think there's anything to be ashamed in that. I want to be a part of that campaign that is going on in the world right now, and just let people know that there's nothing wrong in talking about it and being open about it and not being ashamed. The shame sometimes is part of the toxicity that makes everything a lot harder. So, you know, if you are struggling with anything, reach out to people or reach out to those around you, and if they're good friends and good family, they will, you know, stick by you. But my monkey on my back is anxiety. But everybody's got a monkey on their back, you know. For some people, unfortunately, it's things like alcohol, or you know, some people it's gambling. Everybody has a monkey on their back, and so everyone really should hopefully relate to this song. It's a great, like, this song you can line dance to. Honestly, take it from me, and I'd love to see people come up with a line dance for it. Use it for a TikTok video or whatever, and just come up for it with a line dance for it. But this, I hope everybody really enjoys this track. It's one of my favorites on the album for sure. And you know, I positioned, as I said in the other video, track number 1 was The Magic, track number 2 is Monkey, and therefore the album I decided to call it Magic Monkey. But this is Monkey.
I got this monkey on my back and it's bothering me. This monkey on my back just won't let me be, and I can't sit still while monkey walks by. This monkey is the devil, but the monkey's a disguise. It's not a real monkey.
Okay, so track number 3 is Heaven and Hell. We see a returning guest vocalist on this one. When I say returning, it's a lady by the name of Eily. She guest vocaled on Face of Pain, which was on the Schizophrenic Journey of Sound EP that came out in 2016. Both tracks, this one and that one, I consider quite kind of hard-hitting, you know, hip-hop, and you know, Eily's voice is just great on that kind of track. It, you know, gives it a really good feel. And then, so it's great to have her back. The song itself is heavily influenced by two things. First one is a song by an artist called Leonard Cohen, and the song is Everybody Knows, and it was out in the 80s. It was used on, I think, the titles of the film Pump Up the Volume with Christine Slater in. I always remembered the song and always wanted to do something that I could sort of, you know, give a bit of a nod to it. And this song I definitely feel is that. And then also another big influence was, as I said in the other video, Stranger Things. I wanted to create a track which, if was played on an episode of Stranger Things, wouldn't seem that out of place. And I really wanted to get that really strong 80s synth across, and I definitely feel that that's happened on this song. The song itself, again, is that thing that I was talking about earlier. If you're in a loving relationship, you've got to get to a point where you accept that there's going to be times where it's heaven and there's going to be times when it's hell. There isn't any special remedy or cure for the perfect love. It's just accepting that, you know, love can be heaven and hell, and that's what the song basically is trying to say. If you ever meet a couple that have been together for 50 years, you know, they will always tell you that there's been good years, good times, bad times. That's just the reality. That's the message that this song definitely wants to get across, and that is track 3, Heaven and Hell.
Looking your way today, this could be fun. You could be the one, at least for today.
So track number 4, Distorted Mind. Again, I mentioned earlier about being open and transparent, and not be ashamed of the fact that in the past I've had struggles with, you know, mental health, and You know, I said in the other video as well that this album was like a kind of 2-year journey for me, and this song was just outlining that within that 2 years, you know, I kind of hit a bad patch, and you know, I felt that it was the right thing to do as part of that getting better, to kind of just be open about it and talk about it and write down and make a song about it. And so I also thought that it would be great for me to put something out which maybe other people could listen to and go, well, if you know, that sounds like sometimes the way that I feel about things, and you know that you're not alone. You know, so hopefully it helps someone. If it just helps one person, that's great. But you know, the song speaks for itself. It's Distorted Mind. Enjoy.
Let me escape from my distorted mind. Don't hold me back and don't chain me right now. Take me away. I need to get out of here. My life is a mess, I can take it no more.
Track number 5. It's that song on the album that, for me, the only way I can describe this is think of a Balearic Mediterranean dance song going down to the club. That's its job. That's its mission. It's great again to have a returning guest vocalist on this one, Rachel Raw, who did an awesome job on Disappear. Which again was used on the Schizophrenic Journey of Sound EP. It's awesome to have Rachel back, and you know, she sounds amazing on this track. And yeah, it's just a good old dance song. What Never Let Me Go is about is, you know, right off the back of Distorted Mind, it was me just talking about the fact that, you know, sometimes it's quite empowering to kind of remember all the good things about yourself, and you know, and then when you do, like I did, it's that then mindset of saying, look, you know, if you saw me then, you'd never let me go. Because again, it's dealing with this paranoia of, you know, falling out of love, or someone finding someone better, you know, and just dealing with that demon. It was part of that process where I started to remember all the good things about the opportunities that I've had, the just life in general, which will come out quite clear in the next song. Yeah. So this is track number 5, Never Let Me Go. Enjoy.
It's like this, it happens like that. It happens in ways that you never expect. That's why you gotta be ready and be prepared, because life can be happy but also sad. That's why I got my eyes wide open and I'm looking ahead. Then there's nothing to fear, no need to be scared.
So track number 6 is called Reflecting, and it's kind of perfect that it sits in the middle of the album, because as I've said before, this was like a 2-year window of my life, and this was right at the midpoint where I started to reflect upon my life, because I'm at that age where you start to do that. But it's also about acknowledging that life isn't over just yet, you know. It's that reflecting, as one of the lyrics says in the song. I've been reflecting about dreams that have passed, or been missed, or have been realized, or yet still to come. But understanding that there's still more that I want to achieve, and more that I want to do, and dreams that I want to chase after. So, and I think that's a really healthy perspective to have on life. And this song was an ode to that turning point for me. Initially, I was trying to replicate a song that I released very early in my solo kind of projects. It was a track called Feel the Breeze. You can find it on YouTube. And I love bringing Aboriginal and indigenous and tribal music into my music, and this was a song where it was a great opportunity to do that, and I think it gels well with the vibe of the song and is a nice laid back tune, and I hope you enjoy it.
That's who I wanna be, that's who I wanna be when I'm reflecting.
Yebakana Zalio, Yebakana Zalio, Yebakana Zalio.
So track number 7, We Begin, is one of 3 love songs which are kind of dedicated to my husband. And We Begin, originally, the original version of We Begin appears on my first solo album, Memory. It's, I think, possibly the last track on that album, or track number, I don't know, I can't remember. But anyway, I decided, so I originally wrote that track 4 years into our relationship, just as I knew that I was confident enough that I wanted to get engaged and I was going to propose. And I wrote that song on the run up to the proposal. And then last year we got married, and as we were approaching the wedding, so this would be going back to 2022, I kind of thought, oh, do you know, I want to do a more up-to-date version of this song, and I would hope that then I could feature it in the wedding or wedding video. And so that was the original reason why I came back to the song. There are not on this album, but there are several versions that I've got of this song, in terms of just a completely instrumental version, then a very much more laid back, chilled out version, and then there's this, which is the album version. But it really is kind of just outlining how important my other half is to me, and it was me kind of saying, this is where we begin, and remember, it was originally written when I was, thinking about proposing. And at that time I was envisioning, getting married, and then thinking, well, this is where we will really begin, our dedication and commitment to one another. And so that's why I really wanted to do the up-to-date version for the wedding, because it was always about envisioning that moment where you do those vows and make that commitment. So it's awesome that it was able to be used heavily through the wedding, and if anybody else wants to use it for a wedding, please by all means do. But yeah, this is We Begin, one of 3 love songs.
Before you came along, I felt dead inside. I never knew love until you opened my eyes. You've opened my heart to so many things. I need to thank you for the promise you bring. There were plenty of days, and I never thought I'd find happiness or peace at all. So listen to me now, 'cause this is what I mean. It's the 2 of us, and this is where we begin. This is where we begin.
Track number 8 is called In Every Way, and it's the second of what I call love songs. And I'm saying love songs because I very rarely do love songs. It's not usually a kind of repertoire that me doing love songs. So it's great that there's 3 what I would call love songs on this album. This is 2 of 3 in every way. This song features my good friend Adam J on guest vocals, and did some guest guitar for me. It was actually recorded, his vocal was recorded about 3 years ago, and it sat there for a good year or more, and until I went back to it and thought again, I can do something with this, and this song it is basically, just saying that, I'll give for love in every way that I can, and commit as hard as I can, because it's worth it. But also, it's from a conceptual point of view, when I listen to this song, I think that it's got a very kind of David Bowie vibe to it meets Pet Shop Boys, and it's got a really lovely twist in the middle as well that most people won't be expecting. So yeah, this is in every way.
I'll give love. Never away. I'll give love. Never away. I'll give love. Never away.
So track number 9 is the third of 3 love songs, and it's called My Life. And the simple explanation is that I would give my life for my love, and that's as much as you can say. It's a nice little dance tune, but yeah, that's there's nothing more I can really say about this song than it's my life. I would give my life for my love. So and it's the last of the love song, so enjoy it. My Life.
You hear me when I speak. You see me when I cry. You notice when I'm gone. You remember me always in your mind. I don't know how we got here, but I know that I'm yours and you are mine. All I want is your heartbeat. All I want is you by my side for the rest of my life.
Track number 10 is called Never Give Up. This has got to be probably, again, one of my favourite personal songs on the album. The song sounds like it's got multiple vocalists on it, but it's all myself. Again, that's the same on quite a few of the tracks on the album. Unfortunately, that's just me. I like to play around with different vocal styles. I don't fit into a box. I don't have a particular sound. I just like to play around with different things. And so, yeah, all the vocals on this track are myself. And, this is a bit of a nod to one of my other passions and desires in my life, and that's the search for truth in the paranormal. Especially with ufology, and that's what I do on YouTube. And it's just about, if there's something you believe in, and even if there's others in the world who are skeptical and doubt, that's fine. But just do you and never give up and keep believing. And I guess that's the message in this song. Whatever it is, it might be just that you want to be able to get to university, or do a master's, or you want to get into the Olympics. Never give up, just keep believing, and that's the way to fight and make your dreams come true. So hopefully that's an empowering message for a lot of people, and this is track number 10, Never Give Up.
There's a time to dream, a time for hope. You gotta believe and never give up. There's a time to dream.
Track number 11 is called The Forever Song, and as a friend that I was playing it to joked the other day and said, "Oh, it doesn't go on forever, does it?" No, it doesn't. It's not a terribly long song, but it's called the Forever Song. Don't ask me why. This song is really me just having a bit of fun. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I was really enjoying this process of making this album, and maybe it's where I am in my life, and I'm not hoping for anything big or special to happen as an outcome from this album. But you know, even realizing that gives you a bit of freedom to go, let's just play around a little bit and let's have some fun. And I recorded this song. My vocal, you know, I kind of wanted to record it drunk, and so that's what you kind of hear. This is just a really feel good song. It's got a positive message, you know, and that is again just believing in yourself. You know, you're the one. Just remember that, and you know, because a lot of people depend on other people to big them up, and you know, hopefully that will happen in your life, and that is a positive thing also. But you can't depend on that, because it may not always be there, and you've got to find that inner strength to kind of say, do you know what, I'm good, and I'm going to go after this, and I'm going to do it, and even if people doubt me or don't believe in me, I'm going to do it. So that's the message of the Forever Song, and just a good bit of fun, and I hope people like this track. It's very different from anything I would usually choose to do, and therefore you know, I enjoyed putting this on the album. It was one of the later songs that I actually wrote and finished for the album. It was towards the end of the process, and I just enjoyed making the album and just wanted to have a bit of fun, and I hope you do too, listening to this song. It's the Forever Song.
So I don't know if you know this or not, but they say if you believe in something enough, you can make it all come true. Or so they say, so I'm gonna believe I'll see that day. You've gotta hold your head up high if you wanna see those bright lights. If you wanna hear the forever song, you've gotta believe you're the one.
Track number 12, the last song on the album, is called The Melody. As I said earlier, the album opened with The Magic, with guest vocal Candy K, and the album ends with Melody, again with Candy K guesting with me. And this song simply is, you know, just another one, another song to say, look, I just want to look towards the positive side of life, and I want to live inside the melody. I want to live inside that magic moment, and that's all that's important to me, is just enjoying music, having fun, not taking myself too seriously, you know, and just enjoying the process and living in the melody. And it was a great feel good. Again, I think this has I think this track could do with a really good hard remix, because there's elements of this song that, again, if I had time, I might take to another place. But yeah, I think there's little capsules in this song where you definitely would make me want to get up onto the dance floor and shake my booty, and hopefully that it does the same for other people. But again, if anybody wants to do a remix of this song or do something with it, I'd be more than open for that. But it is a feel good song, and I thought it was a great song to end this album with, on a really positive note. And it's nice to close it out with a guest vocal with Candy K again. And yeah, so that's the full album. And don't forget that the release is on the 28th of June 2024. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to this channel. I'm going to keep sharing updates and things that I'm working on and doing, and you know, possibly a few more updates before the album release as well, and sharing a couple of things. So yeah, please do subscribe, like this video, and if you would be as courteous, please do share it with somebody who you feel might enjoy some of the music or the album that's about to drop. But thank you for listening, thank you for watching, thank you for the interview, and hope you all enjoy the album.
I wanna live in a world that's free of war, famine, hunger, poverty. I wanna live in a world that fights for every single person's human rights.